Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. Now I do apologize for the extra noise in the background. I'm fixing to start my shift at work. One of the things I want to talk about is this fire there Maui went through. They're saying it's one of the most devastating disasters in that area that they've had to deal with, and quite frankly it was bad. All right, they say there's been over 80 deaths so far from this fire, and I want to discuss some things because when I was following the reports and everything that were coming in, there was a lot of concerning things I saw from people while they're dealing with the aftermath, getting interviewed and stuff. One of the things I kept hearing is that there was no warning. Another one was we weren't told where to go. They had no idea what to do. And of course there should be some photos popping up here for you guys, the devastation, the fires themselves, houses all burnt down. It's just gone. All right, there's a lot of stuff just destroyed. A lot of people said they've lost everything. They lost everything. All right, all of worldly possessions. Now many of them, a lot of people made it out alive, of course, but one of the biggest things I saw was people were driving to the coastline, it's an island, and jumping into the ocean to escape the fire. Yeah, that's how bad it was. So guys, I want to push you guys really hard on making plans. I see it all the time here on my channel. I refuse to leave my home. Well, you'd be dead. Okay? This is another natural disaster we prepare for. Just because we're preppers doesn't mean that we're preparing for the doomsday apocalypse. Things happen all the time. And what you need to do is have a plan. Utilize that plan. Again, there was no warning. You know, I saw the interviews of, well, usually you hear a hurricane warning siren or a bullhorn or something. Well, the whole island was on fire. They're fighting everything. I saw reports where, oh yeah, I didn't see a single fire engine. It's an island. How many fire engines do you think they have available to combat multiple wildfires all in the area? Now, for the conspiracy and stuff, I've seen those arguments too, what caused this fire. From my information that I've been receiving and looking into myself, they've had a severe dry season, and that is what started the wildfire. I know there's going to be plenty of people, oh, it's dark, but it's HARP, it's this, it's that, whatever. I don't care. What I care about is these people that are now having to deal with all this. You know, living on the island, in my opinion, it's not where I want to be, because anything happens, shutdowns, anything, everything's brought in, and you have no way of escaping unless you've got a large boat, because you forget this is in the ocean. You can't just jump in a John boat and go for the, you know, aim for the United States. I'm not laughing at this matter at all. People need to be prepared as much as possible. You know, people had, if they're like me, and there are a lot of people like me, believe it or not, they put their possessions and stuff inside their homes. They do not like having their money and stuff like that in banks, and I don't fault them on that at all. But the problem is when their house burned down to the ground, they lost all of that, all of their income, all of their gold and silver, all their preps, everything. That's another thing that we always pushed, and we teamed up with DirtyMan, the safe that you actually put in the ground. There should be a pop-up there for you guys. Yeah. Valuables would have been fine in a fire, absolutely. When it comes to the preps, because you're just going to stay home, again, here's a photo. It's gone. That home is gone. All those preps are gone. This is why I also say move things around as much as possible. Now, being isolated on an island itself, you don't really have much room to move around. So I can see the difficulties they would have in that as well. But this is why I stress so much here on this channel about having plans. Working these plans out, actually going through and doing drills with your plans, dry runs, making sure these things will work for you in an emergency. And another thing I saw, people were saying, well, they should have had gas masks. Hey, I'm all for gas masks. MIRA Saftey has an amazing setup for smoke. All right, and also gas masks and stuff. But I want to stress this out, guys. In the streets, sure, that'd be awesome to have. Inside a burning building, unfortunately, unless you have canistered air on your back like a fireman. I have been in a burning building. All the oxygen is gone. When you're trying to breathe, it's like breathing nothing. So a gas mask would not help anybody inside a building when all the oxygen is out. Having a gas mask while you're trying to evacuate, yeah, that would have been a good thing to have, absolutely. These people are just trying to get away from these flames as much as possible. This is why I stress so much here on this channel about having plans. Working these plans out, actually going through them, doing drills with your plans, dry runs, making sure these things will work for you in an emergency. Again, people jumping into the ocean to escape the fire because they did not know where to go. They were relying on government officials to notify them and direct them and teach them and tell them where they needed to evacuate to. We as preppers, we try to make this decision ourselves. We build up our preps, we build up our plans to make these things happen. All right, guys, I got to get ready for work. I appreciate you hanging out with me. This is a very bad disaster that happened to the people there in Maui. Our hearts and prayers are there with them as much as possible, but they need a lot more than just that. All right, guys, speak to y'all later.